Hey guys, what's up? The time to collect Nintendo DS JRPGs is starting to die already, because half of its library is already on the $50 to $60 range, unfortunately. So today you're about to meet the rarest, or rather the most expensive JRPGs on the system as of the making of this video, with prices that I based off on Amazon, eBay or price charting. And as usual, I'm only covering games that got a North American release. Alright, let's begin! First on the list, My World, My Way. Yeah, that sounds like really badass. My World, My Way. Yeah, as you can see, it's just another one of those cutesy, girly RPGs. And it's honestly kind of mediocre. I mean, this takes me back, way back from when I had a game store. All those boring times. I was just sitting there with my Nintendo DS and my flash card. I downloaded this game, put it there, and 45 minutes later I turned it off. You know, it wasn't for me. So is it a good or a bad game? Well, I don't think 45 minutes are enough to make an opinion, a proper opinion about that on the matter. So is it good or is it bad? I don't know. Get your hands on it and play it. Oh, that's right, you probably won't, because you know a complete in-box version of this game goes for $100! Jesus! I mean, it's games like this, specifically JRPGs like this, that I just can't fathom the fact they're so expensive, so rare. I mean, just look at this. Does it look like something you want to play? It's just one of those really forgettable, no one cares about RPGs ever in existence. You know, like probably half of the Nintendo DS library. So My World, My Way, is it worth $100? Yeah. No. Next up, Black Sigil, Blade of the Exiled. Wow, this game had a lot of potential. A lot, I mean, it's just one of those games. I mean, the story, the music, everything just seems so goddamn good. I mean, the battle system is like homage to Chrono Trigger, and I mean it. It was great, it was a great idea, but two things killed the experience, at least for me, and I know it's the same case for a lot of people. And the fact is that, number one, the encounter rate is atrocious. Yeah, every 10 seconds you walk out, anywhere, you get a random encounter. And their kind of slow battles are not just done in like 1 minute or less. Some of them can take like up to 5 minutes. And the second thing is difficulty spikes. You know, one moment you're fighting enemies that are kind of weak, you beat the crap out of them, and the next 5 seconds you're fighting enemies that are beating the crap out of you. Yep, that was a big problem with Black Sigil. Some technical problems that could have been fixed, and if developers have done that, this would have been a great hidden gem, probably a success. Black Sigil, however, whether you like this game or not, because it's not a bad game at all, in my opinion, it's pretty good, but you know, those two things kill it for me. Anyway, the price of this game, it goes for around the same price as My World, My Way, $100, $120. It's slightly more expensive and more rare. Why? Well, simply because Black Sigil is a game that I can guarantee you will rather play over My World, My Way. Let's just leave it at that. You want a complete in-box copy of this game? $100 to $110 or 20 US dollars. That's right. Next up, the Dark Spire. You know, this is one of those games that just look like they're not even RPGs. I mean, by that cover you can tell it's just something weird. But you see the name down there, Atlus, it says Atlus, so that's gotta tell you something, right? Well, it is, and it actually doesn't look like a Japanese role-playing game, because it's all dark and first-person dungeon crawler, turn-based, but guess what? It is a Japanese role-playing game, and it's very expensive. Well, not that expensive, I mean. Yeah, we're talking about the rarest Nintendo DS RPGs here, but it's still in the $100 range. A complete in-box copy of this brutally hard game, because it is one of the hardest Nintendo DS JRPGs, goes for around $80 to $90, yeah? But there's a catch. The Dark Spire was originally released in a cardboard box with a soundtrack, and that version, which is the true complete in-box version, goes for $100 or $120. I had a hard time finding this game for less than $120, but I know that if you look carefully, you will find it for less than that. But yep, it's a $120 game, but if you just want, the box, the manual, and the cartridge, you can find it for $80. Is it good? Is it worth its money? Well, if you're into really hard, repetitive, and tedious first-person dungeon crawlers, yes, it's worth it, especially because it has an amazing soundtrack. God, I freaking love the soundtrack in this game. It beat the crap out of me, unfortunately. Coming right up, Super Robot Tyson OG Saga Endless Frontier. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that long-ass name anymore. I've bitched about that too many times before. What I haven't bitched is about the game itself, because it's freaking amazing. This is probably one of my favorite JRPGs, one of my top 10 JRPGs on the Nintendo DS. Totally a hidden gem. It got a little more popular thanks to the Project Cross Zone games, because the main characters here in this game are guest characters, playable characters in Project Cross Zone, and the fact that they were developed by the same people, Monolith Soft. That's right, the creators of the Xeno series. This is a great game. I know there's like a huge ton of fan service. I mean, it's a fan service game through and through. It's a damn comedy. You'll be laughing your ass off almost the entire game, not to be taken seriously, but the battle system here is what counts. It's great. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Project Cross Zone games, and this was like a little bit of a predecessor to those games, so I love the battle system because it's similar, it's just based on combos and turn-based, and I love that. However, you want a complete in-box copy of this game, you're gonna have to pay $80. Just like the Dark Spire, it's the exact same case. Complete in box, just box, manual, and cartridge, $80 to $90. But this version, it was originally released in a cardboard box and a soundtrack, and that version goes for $120 or $130. Probably even more. Is it worth it? Well, maybe it is. I mean, I wouldn't pay that for this game, but even though I liked it. But is it worth it? Yes, because it's a good game. Alright, last but not least, the holy grail of JRPGs on the Nintendo DS. Sola to Robo, Red the Hunter. Wow, this game has been there for quite a while. For many years, it's been one of the most expensive RPGs on the system. It's an action RPG. It has a lot of battle systems and a lot of gameplay mechanics involved, but it's still an action RPG at its core. It's great. It's also sort of like a comedy. There was also an anime, I believe, and a previous game that was more of a platforming game, action-adventure game called Tale Concerto on the PS1. This is its spiritual successor, just so you know. And this game, it is the exact same case as the Dark Spire and Endless Frontier. Even a complete in-box copy, an average complete in-box copy of this game goes for $150. My god. And with the cardboard box and the soundtrack, like the launch edition, probably the only edition, $180. Probably more. It's between $180 and $200 already. This game, I can't believe how expensive it is. It just blows my mind. Was it a limited release? Yes, it was, and that's probably the reason why it's so rare and expensive. So here are my honorable mentions: Pokemon Soul Silver and Pokemon Heart Gold. These games, you know, average complete in-box versions of these games go for like $50, we all know that. But these versions with the Pokewalker, you know, these big boxes here, each of them can be sold for between $100 and $120. Jesus Christ. And I don't want to get into that version with the figurine, which goes for a lot of money. Yeah, forget about that version. Man, just can't believe it. I just can't believe how expensive these games are nowadays. Wow, and the list goes on and on. What about games like Dragon Quest VI, Realms of the Reverie or the Revelation or whatever? That's also on the $80 range already, complete in box. There's this other game called Dokapon Journey. Complete in box, $80 to $90 already. Jesus Christ. You wanna start collecting for the Nintendo DS? Good luck, man. Good luck. I wish you the best of luck. Because I think that some of these games, if you keep looking and if you're patient enough, you might find them for much less than that. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with your friends. See you next time.